Hi there, buddies. It has now been revealed that BlackRock discussed its existing lineup of crypto ETFs and the possibility of adding an XRP ETF in the future with the SEC's Crypto Operative Group. We'll explore that today. We'll also discuss how, since Donald Trump took office, the U.S. stock market has lost an incredible $10 trillion. We'll also talk about how the top U.S.-made cryptocurrencies have changed as a result of this correction and the present trends. We'll also discuss the fact that an article about Ripple's intention to establish XRP as the world's reserve digital currency is still up on their official website. Regarding the cryptocurrency market itself, a sideways tendency is presently evident. The market has yet to exhibit significant signs of recovery following the drop. The rebound hasn't been particularly strong. Meanwhile, we can see that over the last 7 days, the leading altcoins have lost an average of about 5%. XRP has regained those losses, though, and its performance over the last 7 days is almost 0%, when many other cryptocurrencies are still in the red, with some down as much as 12%. In terms of market sentiment, a state of anxiety is still evident. Investors don't think a recovery will occur very soon. Many are even questioning whether there will be any sort of recovery in the near future. In the spring, the cryptocurrency market may exhibit some strength. April and might stay. However, customarily, during the summer, when markets usually don't move much, the market tends to cool off. As demonstrated by Ripple's XRP, which won its appeal in 2023 and was relisted on major exchanges, there might be isolated punks of specific altcoins. In essence, the SEC agreed that there is no problem if XRP is sold to individual investors. Whether it could be offered to institutional investors was the last question. Thus, in July, after a sharp increase, XRP was once again introduced to U.S. exchanges and made available to retail. In order to attempt to break out of the sideways movement that has been present since November, we would prefer to close above the $2.12 mark on a weekly time frame. November, December, January, February, and March are the months we are discussing. Now that 4 whole months have gone by, something needs to happen. Naturally, a lot of people are referring to this as the distribution phase. The charts support the validity of that opinion. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that technical analysis isn't always effective. Since indicators don't always behave as expected, it's challenging to draw firm conclusions. The ending candle of March displayed a shooting star pattern, which is often not a good indication for the majority of cryptocurrencies. We frequently fall farther after such a pattern. However, there are several exceptions. For instance, during a bull market in 2021, we recovered in March after having a shooting star in February, and in April we even established a local high. Therefore, this can be a fake-out. We might consider this to be only a fear if the cryptocurrency market keeps rising and the bull cycle holds. Nevertheless, we must consider risk and diversification. It could be prudent to hold off and see what happens if we see advances on XRP. Regretfully, we closed below the trend line on the daily time period, in contrast to the weekly chart, which showed greater promise. This implies that in the upcoming weeks there will probably be more sideways movement or maybe a slow decrease. Remember that. In conclusion, since Trump took office, the U.S. stock market has lost $10 trillion. Depending on one's point of view, that could be either bad or even fortunate for others. Although some foresaw this result, it is unclear if a recovery is imminent. Right now, things are becoming worse, particularly now that Trump is enacting tariffs. The trade war with the rest of the globe is effectively what this is, and other nations may follow suit. It's possible that nations will begin levying tariffs on one another. Unfortunately, the typical consumer will not benefit from this full-fledged trade war. The cost of everything will increase. Go back to BlackRock. According to reports, they discussed their existing crypto ETF lineup with the SEC's crypto team, could maybe incorporate an ETF for XRP. It's only hearsay for now. However, if BlackRock formally files for an XRP ETF, which I think might happen this year, and the SEC legally declares that it has no more claims, and Ripple addresses its problems with the SEC, then we might see that ETF come to fruition. XRP, Solana, USDC, and other US-made cryptocurrencies are dominating the market. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, ADA, Cardano, Doge, HBR, Lake, XLM, AVAX, and SUI. With a market valuation of almost $126 billion, XRP is still in the lead. At this point, we haven't noticed a shift in the top spots because Solana has half that. It's also important to note that Trump has made specific references to ADA, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP as possible options for strategic reserves. It's strange that he hasn't mentioned XLM Stellar, given how frequently people inquire about it. XLM is interestingly the only ETF for which no applications have been filed. They might eventually file and there might be a brief oversight. Given that several firms have already applied for an ETF with HBR, while having comparable market sizes, HBR currently has greater promise. HBR is therefore in the forefront of that. XLM shouldn't be written off though. The coin appealed to me personally because of its accumulation pattern since 2022. Profiting from it was rather simple, but its future is now unclear. According to the daily chart, a dip and a death cross have already taken place. Therefore, this design isn't really helpful right now. XLM is almost back to where it was before the November pump. The price can still drop to 10 cents. It would represent a roughly 50% decrease from present levels. Will there be a further drop in XLM next month, or over the medium term? That is still a major question. Similar trends are being seen by numerous coins which are breaching support or even going back to their pre-pump levels. It's difficult to determine whether the decline is over because XLM is one of them. I don't see an entry opportunity right now, but we'll need to keep an eye on the $0.225 level before drawing any solid conclusions. In contrast, XRP also is far more resilient. Unlike XLM, which sold out rapidly, it has held its pricing levels for a much longer period of time. Additionally, Ripple's objective is very explicit on their official website. The world's digital currency will be XRP. Robust Ripple's stablecoin has seen an 87% increase in volume, hitting over $10 billion, which is noteworthy as well. Since Robust is a direct Ripple product, its success will probably have a long-term positive effect on XRP. Regarding the SEC timeframe, in 2020 they brought legal action against Ripple. Since XRP sales to individual investors were not regarded as securities, Ripple effectively prevailed in July 2023. Since then the SEC has withdrawn its appeal. The SEC has actually formally abandoned its appeal as of March 2025. Since the SEC has lost or dismissed the majority of its charges against cryptocurrency companies, it is currently only a question of time. This one will probably be settled as well in a few months. Check out my Telegram channel, which has a link in the description, for a weekly summary of happenings. There I give thorough updates on XRP and Ripple. You can always find the weekly digest of XRP news in the channel, as every video I post includes continuous updates. Additionally, the SEC has said that stablecoins are not securities, which probably means that desire is unclear. For quicker updates, feel free to subscribe to my Telegram channel, where I have provided the pertinent paperwork. In conclusion, the market is presently at a standstill. Many people worry that cryptocurrency might fall in value in tandem with the stock market. The two markets' link appears to be waning though. Crypto has been comparatively stable while the stock market continues to decline. It's unclear if cryptocurrency will start to decline again, but I believe the current trend is a healthy correction inside a larger bull cycle. The media will also probably spread stories like Bitcoin death cross or the market is doomed. They will attempt to incite panic, but it's possible that the market is getting ready to rebound. It might be too late for new traders to enter the market if we shortly transition from neutral to euphoric zone. For now, that's all. Crypto Facts was this. Be careful, and I'll see you later.